In this video, we'll be taking a look at 2 college football games happening on November 1st, 2022, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 4 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 2 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Ball State versus Kent State. The Ball State Cardinals have been average throughout the season thus far, as they are 4-4 and are coming off of a 20-16 home loss against the Eastern Michigan Eagles last Saturday. Junior quarterback John Paddock struggled a bit in the loss, as he was 1-5 of 26 for 178 yards with a pair of touchdowns and interceptions. The Kent State Golden Flashes are playing on Tuesday evening inside of Dick Stadium in a Mid-American Conference matchup. They are currently sitting at 5-3 so far and were able to pick up a 33-27 home victory over the Akron Zips. Backup true freshman quarterback Devin Cargman had a good game there, as he was able to complete 4 of 25 passes for 213 yards and a pair of touchdown passes. The Cardinals are looking to rebound from a narrow home loss to Eastern Michigan. The Golden Flashes posted a solid home win against Akron in their previous action. These rivals last met in 2019 in a game Kent State won by a 41-38 score. The Ball State Cardinals are 4-4 this season after they lost to Eastern Michigan by a score of 20-16 in their last game. Ball State only gained 292 total yards and turned the ball over 3 times in the loss. The Ball State offense is averaging 24.5 points per game with 248.1 passing yards per game and 140.8 rushing yards per game. John Paddock has thrown for 1,985 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions for the Cardinals this season. Carson Steele has rushed for 890 yards and 8 scores, while Ja'Shawn Jackson has caught 54 passes for 633 yards and 2 touchdowns for Ball State. The Ball State defense is giving up 28 points per game and 396.5 yards per game. The Kent State Golden Flashes are 3-5 this season after they defeated Akron by a score of 33-27 in their last game. Kent State was outgained 492-455, but was able to force 2 turnovers in the win. The Kent State offense is averaging 29 points per game with 224.3 passing yards per game and 209.6 rushing yards per game. Colin Schlee has thrown for 1,548 yards, 8 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions, while also rushing for 339 yards and 3 touchdowns for the Golden Flashes this season. Marcus Cooper has rushed for 845 yards and 8 scores, while Dante Cephas has caught 47 passes for 731 yards and 3 touchdowns for Kent State. The Kent State defense is allowing 32 points per game and 454.8 yards per game. The Cardinals are 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 road games and 4-10 against the spread in their last 14 games overall. The Golden Flashes are 9-4 against the spread in their last 13 home games and 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 games overall. The under is 5-1 in Cardinals' last 6 games overall. The under is 3-1 in Golden Flashes' last 5 games overall. The Cardinals are 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 meetings. The home team is 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 meetings. A Mid-American Conference showdown is set to take place on Tuesday night when the Ball State Cardinals travel to face the Kent State Golden Flashes. The Cardinals lost a close one last week, but had been rolling before that. Their defense still showed up, though, just as it's done in their other recent contests. Opponents are averaging less than 20 points against Ball State during this current 3-game stretch and on a measly 4.4 yards per play. They've risen to 43rd in the country in passing yards allowed per game at 211.1. The script is flipped for Kent State, who have led up 27-plus points in 3 straight outings and 4 of their last 5. In their last 2 showings, their defense has surrendered 646 yards and 7 touchdowns through the air. The Golden Flashes struggle on defense, but they also struggle a bit on offense, as evidenced by their 224.3 passing yards per game. Ball State isn't very good, but there's no reason they should be the underdog against a struggling Kent State squad. Even in their last contest, the Golden Flashes won by just 6 points at home against a really bad Akron team. They were favored by 16 -15 heading into that one. The line isn't quite as big here, but that shouldn't matter. Kent State hasn't covered since September 24th, and they haven't covered at home since the week before that. Ball State sports an impressive 5-2 record against the spread in their last 7 road games against conference opponents and should add another tally to that total after this matchup. So the Ball State Cardinals to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. While Ball State isn't scoring many points, Kent State has a weak defense. They have squandered at least 27 points in 3 consecutive games. The Cardinals have a decent QB in John Paddock, and he should produce against a pass defense that is pegged at 125th overall. In addition, the Golden Flashes have a fast offense. They average 73.4 offensive plays per game, ranking them 40th. The offense has eclipsed 30 points in 3 out of their last 4 games and is averaging a remarkable 433 total yards per game. Also, Kent State is averaging a remarkable 42 points at home. The over is 15 to 5 to 1 in the Golden Flashes' last 21 games following a straight-up win. I expect a barrage of points. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Buffalo versus Ohio. Buffalo will try to extend its 5-game winning streak when it travels to Ohio for a nationally televised Mid-American Conference showdown on Tuesday night. The Bulls lost their first 3 games this season, but they have responded with an emphatic stretch to take control of the Mid-American Conference East. Ohio enters this game with momentum as well, having won its last 3 games. Buffalo comes into this game with a 5-3 overall, and they have won 5 games in a row. In the last game against Toledo, they scored 24 points in the 4th quarter, and that was enough for Buffalo to win by 7 points. Cole Snyder had a nice game, completing 22 of his 39 passes for 245 yards and a touchdown. Buffalo is averaging 31 points, while their defense is giving up 25 points per game. The offense is ranked 58th in the league, and they need the offense to be good in this game. On the season, Snyder has completed 163 of his 270 passes for 1,907 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. On the other side of this matchup is the Bobcats, who sit with a 5-3 record overall, and they have won 3 games in a row. In the last game against Northern Illinois, they outscored the Huskies 7-0 in the 4th quarter, and that was enough for the victory. Curtis Rourke has completed 14 of his 26 passes for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. Ohio is averaging 32 points, while their defense is giving up 34 points per game. On the season, Rourke has thrown for 2,408 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Buffalo is 5-0 to 1 against the spread in their last 6 games overall. Ohio is 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 games overall. The home team is 7-1 against the spread in the last 8 meetings played between the 2 teams. Action returns this week with its usual slate of early week games, and one of the 2 Tuesday tilts is a big one. Buffalo travels to Ohio University in a battle for first place in the Mid-American Conference East. Buffalo enters the game at 4-0 in conference play, including last week's win over conference favorite Toledo. Ohio enters the game at 3-1 in the Mid-American Conference, with their loss coming in overtime to Kent State. The winner of this one certainly has the inside track on their half of the conference. So what are these teams like? Both teams are better on offense than they are on defense. Both teams average more than 30 points per game. Buffalo's defense ranks 80th in yards per game, and Ohio checks in way down at 131. It seems likely that points will be flying in this game. Part of these stats, of course, are slanted by the fact that Ohio played the much more difficult pre-conference schedule, including games against Iowa State and Penn State. Buffalo faced Maryland and Coastal. On paper, these 2 teams seem pretty even to me. Where can we differentiate them? I think the key difference is Ohio quarterback Curtis Rourke. Most consider him the better quarterback in this matchup, and he has been very efficient this season. He has completed over 68% of his passes, and he has a 16-3 touchdowns per intercepts ratio. He even has a 400-yard game on the ledger against Akron, and since conference play has started, he has been outstanding. Buffalo has played well coming into this game, but in the last game, they were lucky to pull out a victory. They had to score 24 points in the 4th quarter, and they can't expect a comeback like that again in this game. Look for Ohio's offense to have a big game again and get over their season average. Buffalo isn't going to be keeping up, and I will stick with the better quarterback and the home team catching points. So the Ohio Bobcats to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. The two defenses in this matchup are giving up too many points, as Buffalo is allowing an average of 25 points per game and Ohio is allowing an average of 34 points per game. The total has finished over in 5 of Ohio's last 8. At the same time, the offenses for both are strong. Buffalo is scoring an average of 31 points per game and Ohio scoring an average 32 points per game. Buffalo's offense always tends to heat up late in the season, as the Bulls have gone over the total in 10 of their last 12 games played in November. They are peaking at the right time again this season, and I expect another high-scoring affair on Tuesday. Neither defense has been particularly strong this season, but both offenses are playing high-level football. Ohio has cashed the over in 5 of its last 6 home games. Buffalo uses the rushing attack more than Ohio, but it still throws the ball at a steady rate. I'm not expecting a ton of stops when these teams square off. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.